Yo, what's going on, everybody? Mr. Typhlosion here with a little video, and I just kind of wanted to talk about the differences between action replays and power saves. Now, if you're familiar with my channel, you've kept up with all my power save-esque videos throughout the year or so, you would know that power saves has been up and down in my opinion. There's been some good things about it, and there's been some bad things about it. When power saves first came out, it was actually pretty cool. Everything was still free. I mean, it's still technically free. Just if you want to get your codes ahead of time, then you're gonna have to pay something towards that. And I can understand from a business financial standpoint, I can understand why they're doing it. I'm not mad at them for that. They got to make their money too. They can't just be making this product in essentially for free. Yeah, you have to buy the device or whatever, but I understand. Okay. So I just kind of wanted to talk about the differences because not everyone knows the real differences. So right here on on your left side, I have a code page pulled up for Platinum using Action Replays, and I have a code page on the right, the recent Power Save Prime for Ultra Moon over here on the right side, as I said. And we're just gonna go over the little differences about them and just what I think about it overall. So if you want to leave a like, go ahead. Dislike, whatever. It's up to you guys. I just appreciate the viewage anyway. Lets me know that you guys are engaged in what I'm making. So action replays. I mean, it all started out with like Game Shark. You guys remember like Game Shark, the little thing, the little cartridge you plug that bad boy into your Game Boy. Boy, everyone was running around with Mews and Mewtwo's, and I was just wondering, like, man, how did you guys get that? And the DS came out, and then I learned about action replays. And action replays at the time was like so cool. My friends were just so skittish about using it. They're like, "Oh, it's gonna brick your game, man. You're gonna start shooting fireballs instead of pokeballs and everything." And they were just so paranoid about it, but it was just so cool because a lot of us that use these kind of tools don't have like the means or maybe finances to go travel to the places because back in the day, before the Wi-Fi events and everything, you had to go to these specific events to get like Mew, for instance. You had to go to, I think it was like a tournament somewhere in freaking New York City or something. And it's like, I was like 8 or at the time, and I'm like, yo, I can't just be like, yo, mom, I'm going to New York, man. I'm going to go travel on a national airline or whatever and go to New York. That just wasn't gonna happen. So when action replays came out, it was just so cool because I don't know if you guys remember. Just go back to like Black and White, Diamond and Pearl. Just go back to those games. You remember going on the Wi-Fi and just seeing like all these shiny legendary Pokemons up for trade, but you can't trade them because they wanted something freaking ridiculous. Well, action replays just gave you those means to kind of get what you wanted. Action replays was just so cool. It's just this little device you plug your cartridge into, and then you plug the device with the cartridge inside to your DS, and you just install codes into it. And then, like, once you boot up the game, you would see the menu. You select the codes that you want based on pretty much what you'd installed in it so what you would do is you would plug the device into your computer. It would pull up this little search engine, and I'll probably find some clips of it and put it up here so you guys can actually see it. But you would pretty much copy these codes down, as you can see right here, like high cash. You would copy this code down without that. So you would just copy this, boom, and you would paste it, and then it would be inside the game. You save it, and it'd be in the system itself. You were manually putting in the code yourself. If you wanted restore health in battle, press start to use it. It would restore your health once you put the code in your game and you press start. It would do it. If you wanted berries, you would hit select plus up and it would do it. You just had so much. Look, run through walls, man. Move modifier. Now this is a bit crazy. Now this is when it was getting a little bit crazy. So as you can see right here, I used to make Pokemon for myself back in the day too with my own moves or whatever. But you see this? You would have to copy this, right? And whatever with the XXX, right? Whatever right here where it says XXX, you would have to replace that line with this, the hex values. So you'd have to replace it with that. And it gets pretty annoying. It gets pretty tedious, especially if you're trying to do like so many more Pokemon. And all my buddies knew that I had this, and they were just hounding on me. Can you make me this? Can you make me that? Can you make me this with this type of moves? Can you make me a full team of this? They were just coming at me continuously, and it was a bit annoying. So oftentimes or not, I would just be like, no, I don't have it. Okay. I'm not gonna do it. Like, it was ridiculous. But you can see all the moves here. And the best thing, let's just get to the gist of it. The best thing about Action Replay was the freedom that you had to pretty much have the codes that you want. If you wanted one of each spheres level 99, bro, you could do it. If you didn't want it, you didn't have to put it on there. And there was just so many people contributing to these codes, and it was just such awesomeness, you know. And there's just so many of them. As you can see, there was 11 pages of them. They're up here, right? Okay, yeah, they're up here. So like, opponent first Pokemon HP, 1 HP. You can, dude, there was even a code where you could catch the other person's Pokemon, like roaming Arceus. Arceus was just roaming around. You could switch your genders. You can, oh my god, it was just so crazy. You can trigger events, man. That was probably the coolest thing for me, is that you could trigger the events that you couldn't normally do throughout the game, like the Darkrai event. That event was so awesome. The Arceus event, if you've never seen the Arceus event in person, have only seen it in videos, it's just so much more awesome in person. And Action Replays was just so cool. So we're going over here to the right now. When Power Saves was introduced, you know, Oris, am I missing one? there was one before Oris, right? Was it not that? What for the 3DS? There was one before Oris, right? Ah, forgive me. I my mind slips. But anyway, like when Oris was out, and you know, Power Saves was becoming the new thing, because Action Replays was for the DS. Now for the 3DS, we had you could still use those games, but it was not as good. As you can see here, we just described all the things that you could do. Now, over here for the Power Saves, excuse me, over here for the Power Saves Prime, the all right, we're gonna go with the ups and downs. The ups, it's just so cool too, because it gives you this opportunity to modify the current games, and it just kept up with it. There's some pretty useful codes here, and when it first started out, there wasn't that many useful codes because it was just being new. It was new in development, and they were just, you know, working out everything. But as it developed, you know, the codes started getting more intricate, started getting awesome. You started getting these wonder card things, which is cool. It had all these little Pokemon on here. This egg wonder card is new, but like right here, this is the only thing I really cared about. So you can get like all the event Pokemon that was at whatever tournament in Tokyo, that was Tokyo specific, that was over here in freaking Europe. If you're not from Europe, if you're not from America, it had American events. You know, it was just cool. You know, it was pretty much the same as Action Replay. You could get stuff that you normally couldn't get, and it was just right here. It was easy to do. You plug it in, you plug the cartridge in, you plug it in your computer, you select the codes and save it to the cartridge, and then you plug the game cartridge back inside your DS, and there you go. You have it. Now, it doesn't sound like there's too many good things that I said about it, but pretty much me rehashing all the good things would pretty much be rehashing the good things I said about the Action Replay. Now, the difference between the two is where, you know, the bad things are. Now, the bad things for the Action Replay was the fact that you had to go in here and you kind of had to copy these. And some of them, like I said before, with like the move modifier, some of those were freaking annoying. And you had to do that every time. You had to make sure that your Pokemon was there. You had to make sure you knew what the codes were. And if you got one wrong, you screwed up the entire Pokemon, and sometimes your game didn't even start, and you had to find out what you did wrong. And it was so annoying sometimes. This one, it's all laid out for you. It's all easy. It tells you what the codes are gonna do and how to do it sometimes. Now, the problem with this is there's not enough freedom. There's not as much freedom with the power saves as there was with Action Replay. There's just codes when it first started out, there was codes that were on there, but they weren't really doing much. You know what I mean? They weren't walking through wall codes. They weren't catching other people's Pokemon's codes. You know, I felt like legit like Team Rocket, man. If I wanted Lance's Dragonite, I was gonna have Lance's Dragonite. You know what I mean? Like there was just something to it. Like it just added like a whole kind of new backstory to the game. And then we get power saves, and it just kind of takes that all away from us, you know? And it was kind of sad to see that. And I was actually really, really sad to not have those codes like before. Like, every Pokemon you encounter is shiny. Now you have shiny box codes where you can only select from 1 through 5 to be shiny. Over here in Action Replay, you could have whatever Pokemon you wanted spawn in the wild, so you could have the wild encounter flag and have it shiny already, and just throw whatever Pokeball at it, have it catch with 100%. Now you have to put it in your box, or you have to egg hatch it, or egg code it, or whatever. You have to manually do it. And it's not really about... Okay, it really is about complaining on which one's more convenient than the other. But still, it's just... The Action Replay just offered so much more. And now, recently, with Power Saves Prime, and then people just getting really upset about how, you know, they bought the system or whatever, trying to get cheats, and now that they have to pay for additional codes, and it bugs them. And I understand completely, but it's the world that it's a shitty excuse, and excuse my language, but it's the world we live in nowadays. We can't get things how we used to before without there being some kind of added, you know, attachment to it. We can't play games anymore with all the content in store. There has to be the DLC, the season pass, the microtransactions, whatever, you know? And that's just the gaming world we live in. You know, the world is about money, and that's sad. But, I mean, people gotta do what they gotta do. They see a profit in something, they see people are gonna collect on something, they're gonna try to collect on it. So I can't be mad at Power Saves for doing what they do. You know, they gotta do what they gotta do. So I hope this kind of cleared up a little bit. I just kind of wanted to make this video, just kind of rant a little bit and reminisce. Just like, Action Replays are so much cooler. I guess this is kind of like a versus video, and in my opinion, my general opinion, Action Replays takes it. Action Replay just dominates so much over Power Saves. It was free. You bought the system and everything was free. You found it yourself. You went on Google or whatever. You found the information like I showed you guys right here. There's just so much stuff. There's freaking 11 pages of stuff in, what is there? There's like 10 slots of stuff over here. Like shiny Wonder Guard Lucario with strong move replaces 4 Pokemon in your party. 995 of everything in your backpack. Enable Spirit Tomb Battle. This allows all legendary Pokemon to be used in the Battle Frontier. Like, you can't do that. You can't do that with Power Saves. There's just so many just game-breaking stuff that was just so cool with Action Replays, and in my opinion, that takes the cake. Let me know what you guys think down below. Which one is your favorite? Do you like Action Replays? Do you like Power Saves? Again, let me know down in the comment section below. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. I don't think I'm going to be making another thing like this, but if you do like it, maybe I should in the future. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.